Hi there, this is Joe from SquareXO, and this is episode 57. I'm joined by Dan.
Hello.
And Rebecca.
Hello.
Okay, so before we start, don't forget you can follow us on twitter.com/square_XO. Visit our website at squarexo.co.uk. We're also on patreon.com/squarexo. We're on Discord now as well, but I've no idea what that link is. But if you look in our Twitter profile, I think you can find it in there. You might catch me on there occasionally, I don't know, I'm not that keen on starting a new social media thing. There's enough of them. I really don't know if I'm that interested in getting hooked on another one. But you can visit, if that's your thing, then of course you can visit it. YouTube.com/JansonWater and YouTube.com/SquareXO. I'm not sure how much we're up there, SquareXO one, but I'll just mention it anyway. And we're on iTunes, Podbean, hopefully Spotify soon, for those asking. I have applied to be on Spotify, but I've not heard back yet. But fingers crossed we'll appear on there. That would be a good one. And yeah, so I think that's just about all of it. So
the list is getting longer and longer.
Yeah, I know. Every day.
And don't forget our merchandise as well. squarexo.co.uk/merchandise if you want to wear a nice t-shirt or a hat or something similarly cool. Okay, so let's get on with what's coming up on the show today. Today on the show, we've got the news, and then we're going to delve into our topic about couch multiplayer, and then we're going to return for user questions, talk about what we've been playing, and we'll round up with our word on our competitions, what's coming out soon, and then we'll say goodbye. Okay, so let's get on with the gaming news. Okay, I'm surprised I remembered all that. That's amazing, considering I've had about an hour's sleep last night. But hey, I'm pleased with that. Okay, there's not really a lot of gaming news, to be fair, compared to other weeks, but there's some quite big stuff. First of all, I think, pretty sure it probably wasn't talked about last week, but Spider-Man's been dated for September 7th. Everyone's excited for Spider-Man. There was all sorts announced, a collector's edition which includes all the digital content from the digital deluxe edition, as well as a steelbook case featuring the iconic white spider, a mini art book from Titan Books, and an awesome Marvel's Spider-Man statue by Gentle Giant. Is anyone keen on any of that sort of stuff?
I don't know how keen I am on the game anymore. It seems like I haven't seen enough of it. Seems to just, I don't know, have been going on so long that they haven't really shown much since, what was it? Was it PlayStation event or was it E3 where there was that trailer? But then since then it's gone real quiet. So I've kind of, I don't know, I've gone off the boil for it as well a bit. Yeah. I need to see more. I want more gameplay and more info.
The only person that's gone off the boil for it.
Yeah, maybe I am.
It just seems so hype. But I can't wait because I loved Sunset Overdrive on the Xbox One, which was by Insomniac, and I think they've probably learned a lot from that game, which was actually probably the best Xbox One exclusive, I would say, that I've played. And it's really good. So, and it's a similar sort of, going to be a sort of open world city game, I guess, a bit like that. So I think they've learnt a lot from that, and they'll really sort of take that into Spider-Man, which is obviously its own world anyway, so it must be a bit easier in a way to deal with something that's already established, mustn't it? I imagine it's harder in the fact that you need to make sure you get it right, but it's easier in the fact that you've already got the world, to the setting, the stories and stuff. So, I mean, I imagine that the fact that they've got that means they can concentrate more on the gameplay, which I have to say looks great. I mean, I've wrote down some of the things from the Game Informer article about the game. It's just telling you some little bits, like controls, for instance. Use L3 to dive and gain momentum, and you can use X to send out a zip web, which you can then use to move around buildings quickly and make sudden turns in different directions. You can also scan your environment using R3. And there's various types of soups as well. Not soups, because soups, Spider-Man doesn't eat soup thing. Suits, though, there is some of them. You start off with a traditional suit. There wasn't any explanation of what the white spider's all about, but I'm sure we'll find out. And then apparently there's going to be different suits as well, but I've no idea. I guess they'll give you different abilities or whatever. I don't really know. Apparently the combat's fast and fluid, which sounds good. And you can jump from one enemy to the next with ease, which kind of sounds a bit like if you played the Batman games where you're sort of fighting and you just go through one to the next. I think it might I think they're sort of aiming that sort of thing, aiming for the sort of free-flowing, fast-flowing combat, really.
It'd be good if Spider-Man does do that, so, in the cartoons and the films, it would be good.
Apparently you get to play as Peter Parker as well, and if you want to fast travel, you go on the subway.
Okay, cool.
That's cool.
Apparently the open world's densely packed with people as well, and you can interact with citizens and take selfies with them, high five and all that sort of thing. It's set within the Marvel Universe, so you'll see the Avengers building, stuff like that. There's a leveling system, and there's also DLC being confirmed. I think if you get the collector's edition, you get the DLC included, which will come out later. It's called City Never Sleeps, and that'll basically keep you engaged after the main story's done. And each bit of DLC will include a new villain or a unique villain, a new storyline, missions, challenges, and suits. And apparently the first one's called The Heist. Yeah, and I'm sure I read a quote from Game Informer saying it really feels like Insomniac is basically they've got what Rocksteady had with Batman, the way they just reinvented.
So have you played the Batman games? Have either of you two played all three of them?
Yeah.
I've not played any.
I didn't like the last. What was the last one? Arkham Knight. Was that the one where you used the vehicles as tanks or something?
Well, that was going to be my question, because the first one is the best one, and it's not open world. The last one is the worst one, and it's open world.
But the last one wasn't by Rocksteady, was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the last Arkham Knight was the unofficial third one, which was Batman Origins, I think, wasn't Rocksteady, but that wasn't part of the Arkham
I didn't like
trilogy.
all that tank stuff. I hated that.
Yeah, it was shoehorned in because it was an open world that they had to add a way to travel around it fast, didn't they? I suppose. Yeah, so I suppose that's one of the reasons with Spider-Man I'm a bit dubious still. It's because of and it's a bit like it's exactly the discussion we had last week about open world games. The first Batman game's so good because the story is tight, because the world it's set in isn't vast, and I don't know with Spider-Man.
But I think with Spider-Man you've got to give people the option to just swing about wherever they want. I think that's probably one of the main reasons why people are looking forward to it, because they can just swing about everywhere in New York City and between buildings. I think if you didn't have that, it would probably get a lot of criticism.
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't stop the story being tight as long as they sort of let you do it in between or something. I'm sure we'll find out how they do it. Anyway, also
I want to know more.
Yeah, but also dated with Spyro trilogy as well. That's the 21st of September. So September looks like this. On September 4th, get Dragon Quest. September 7th, Spider-Man. September 14th, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And September 21st, Spyro trilogy. And usually FIFA is out the week after, around about the 28th of September. So there's going to be a big game every sort of week. And that's just some of them. I imagine how many more is going to be there as well. Yeah,
once E3 rolls around and we know a bit more.
They're all trying to avoid Red Dead Redemption as well, which comes out in October. So, I mean, we could get quite a few more shoehorned into September, I think.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Spyro?
No, I never really played Spyro before, so it's not something I would say really excites me as such, because I've not really played it, so I don't really know what it's all about, so I don't know.
Yeah. I'm more excited for that than I was Crash. I think the Spyro games for me were more my kind of thing than what Crash was. So I think it's good, but at the same time, it's another remaster, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
Seems
good
like
for me because I've not played it, I guess.
Yeah, but will you play it? Because you've not played it. Are you
I
drawn
might
to
do.
it?
Might do,
Yeah.
aye. I'll certainly give it a go. I might rent
Yeah.
it and see what it's like, or I might buy it. I don't know. We'll see.
Have you played any of them before, Rebecca?
I haven't, no. So I'm sort of in the same boat, whereas if I hear a lot of overwhelming positive critiques, I'd probably give them a go. But I'm also like, it's a remaster and I want new content, like fresh content.
But it is new to you because you've not
To
played
me,
it.
it's new, but I think because I know of it, if you know what I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sort of like, well, that's cool, but I know it's a remaster, if you know what I mean. And I know of the original, and I know what the original was like. I've not played it, but I've seen things and heard things. So I sort of feel like, yeah, it's great that they're remastering things, and I do like remasters, as we've said. You know, the Dark Souls remaster is coming out next month, and I'm definitely getting that. I think that's great. But the other part of my mind is like, well, we could have new content. So I'm a bit like torn, but I'm happy that it's happening because I know a lot of people, including our own Nicole, are really excited for it. So I'm glad that it's going ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, right. One of the things I wrote down here, it's not really news, but I wrote it down that Fortnite is spilling into football. What made me think of this is I was watching Rangers at weekend, and then when Kenny Miller scored, and he's pushing 40 now, and his celebration was an emote from Fortnite.
Oh God.
And I saw this clip on YouTube, and they're all doing it. All the sort of Premiership. I don't know if you saw any Southampton players do it, but mind you, they
Southampton
never
players
scored
don't
any
score goals.
do they?
Yeah.
You beat me to that joke. But yeah,
We don't have it. Yeah, our league's a bit more competitive. We don't have 40-year-olds scoring.
no, but I'm just saying. Here wasn't Abramovich pushing 40. He's not far off.
Ibrahimovic,
old, didn't he? Yeah.
I don't know. He hasn't played for ages, is he? He's old. He's injured. Anyway, off topic. He plays for New York now, anyway, doesn't he?
And he scored on his debut.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, we're talking off top, but well, we're not because we're talking about football and Fortnite, and there's quite a few.
True.
There's quite a few of them do it. And
I wouldn't know if I'd seen someone do
it. And
it.
the Premiership and stuff. Well, you know, because they do this sort of weird dance.
But I haven't played Fortnite, so
I don't really know much about it myself. I played it once, and because Travis made me play it, and I sat there. And it just felt like a sort of beta of a game to me. Like you're just sitting playing this game that feels like an empty shell. But I've said it before. Then the next day I walked in his room and it had been patched, and all of a sudden there was loads of trees everywhere. I think I'm not even sure. I don't know a lot about it, but from what I can figure out, they're still sort of building it while people are playing it.
Yeah.
Well, it's free, isn't it? So I suppose as the user numbers go up and more people buy more stuff for it, then they've got more money to spend on development.
Yeah, possibly. But then I just thought it was quite interesting that the emotes and stuff was spilling into actual real life and people celebrating their goals with these emotes. It just shows you that all the footballers is quite big gamers, doesn't it? So it's quite cool in that respect, isn't it?
Yeah. Wonder if we'll start seeing some others.
Makes you wonder if they'll do it in FIFA.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Could they get away with that though? Could you actually?
They'd have to do some EA games, wouldn't they? I don't know what EA games are there though. With can't think of any off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With emotes.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. But I just thought it was worth mentioning because it is a bit bizarre that real life games is spilling into real life. It's always good to see in it because maybe people might look into it then and go, why are they doing that? And then all of a sudden you've got people going, oh, it's a game, and then maybe they'll get into games and it will all be good.
I wonder how long it'll be until Fortnite start contacting players to say if you score a goal, do this, and we'll give you £1,000 or whatever.
Yeah, no, it can only help improve the popularity of the game, though, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I did have another bit of news, but it seems to have disappeared from my notes. I think I just deleted it. Okay, here it is. GTA is the most profitable entertainment product of all time. So it's more profitable than movies, any game ever made. Nothing basically comes close. It's been reported that GTA has had 90 million sales worldwide and 6 billion in revenue.
Is that as a series or 5?
No, GTA 5.
Yeah, okay.
So just that game on its own. It says, so if you compare that to movies or whatever, for instance, the 6 billion in revenues is far past the 4 billion achieved by the best-selling films such as Star Wars and Gone with the Wind. And that's adjusted for inflation and adding in DVD sales to the box receipts as well.
Wow.
Even the highest grossing film of all time, James Cameron's Avatar, made 2.8 billion. So it didn't even reach half of what GTA made.
That's insane.
So yeah. And that's just crazy when you think that's only GTA 5. It says
it makes you wonder what Rockstar are worth, doesn't it?
Yeah, it also says if you combine, you'd have to combine the sales of GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, and GTA 4 to match GTA 5's figures. So,
wow.
It's just nuts. And
why do you think it's so popular? Why do you think it's done so well?
The online is really helping, because what they done was, whatever the currency was when they done this deal, if you bought a copy of a game, you would get so many points, and I think it worked out cheaper to buy a copy of the game than it did to buy the online currency or something.
Right.
So that you got the free currency. So I think a lot of people might have bought more than one copy.
Yeah. Because I've never owned it. I've never owned a version of it or played it.
I think I own 2 versions. I own it PS4. I own it on PS4, PS3, and I own it digitally as well.
Well,
and I never
that's
even
insane.
play it.
I have one version, like I would suspect most people have, but that's crazy.
And I thought it's excellent.
Them.
I thought it's an excellent game for the
I love it. I think
week
it's
or
a
so
great
I
game.
played it, and then I was like, nah, I'm bored of it now. But I always do that with GTA. I always really enjoy it to begin with, and then I get bored really fast.
I like quite often go back to GTA just to drive around and shoot things, and then I'm like, oh, I'm bored now. Like I'll download the game and it takes about an hour and a half to download. I'll play for 10 minutes and I'm like, why did I do this when I could play a new game? I think it's just got that allure to it. I'm like, oh, let's go play that.
Yeah.
I mean, the production value, everything about it's just the best it can be, really. It's just it's rarely you would see a bug in it. I don't really.
Yeah.
It's just the production value is really good in GTA games, and the story's generally good, and the music, everything about them is just really good. But they don't really grab me in for long. They grab me in to begin with, and then that's it. I get bored. But I still think they're great games, really, and worth playing. So I've just not finished the story of it yet. Maybe I will go back to it one day and finish it.
Maybe.
But yeah, but it's making a fortune, so surprise, surprise. And then, which brings us on nicely to the charts, which was topped by Far Cry this week. FIFA 18 was number 2. Microsoft had 3 games in charts, Sea of Thieves, Forza 7 and Pugba. So I presume they're all part of a bundle or something, the fact that there's 3 games in the top 5. That would kind of make sense, wouldn't it?
You'd think so, yeah.
Call of Duty, number 6, Mario Kart, number 7, GTA, yes, it's still there, number 8, and Crash Bandicoot, Super Mario, and then Crash Bandicoot, that's it.
It's a pretty uninspired, top 10 of games, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
When you consider the age of some of the titles and things like that, you kind of, if you were new to gaming and went to your local store and looked at the top 10 and it was those, I don't know, for me it's a bit bland. Almost.
Yeah, but those series is almost some of the most popular games you can get. Like Far Cry, FIFA, Call of Duty, Forza, Assassin's Creed there as well. GTA. I mean, all stuff like that's the stuff most people would probably want to play anyway, innit?
Maybe. I just find it sad every week you read out the charts. It's the same old.
Yeah,
But
well, it
hey,
never changes really that much, and it never will, I don't think.
no.
I think it's just the way it is. Okay, so that's the gaming news. I can have a rest now.
Right, is it over to me then? Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about couch multiplayer this week, and I guess sort of it went missing for quite a few years back there, but with a way out, it's sort of becoming a little bit more prominent, and we're just going to discuss what we prefer, if we prefer online multiplayer or if we prefer couch multiplayer, and yeah, sort of see where the discussion goes from there. So does anyone want to start, or shall I go?
Well, I'll just say it came about because I've been playing A Way Out. And
yeah, I really want
just,
to know what you think of that.
Yeah, it's just been really nice to play a split-screen game that isn't competitive, I suppose, in some respects, but also that it's a local. It can be online, but it's local. You share the screen, and I don't quite understand why there's less split-screen games, or there certainly is in the kind of the gaming circles that I'm playing in. There's a lot less split-screen games because TVs nowadays are huge. I remember going to school and college, and I'd have a 16-inch or a 20-inch telly in my bedroom, and you'd be playing 4-player Mario Kart. You'd effectively have, like an A6 piece of paper-sized screen each. Whereas now, you've pretty much got a 20-inch telly each when you do a split screen. And I don't know. I don't know if it's to do with the processing power of the machines or just whether people are less social in general and don't tend to have 3 or 4 people over to play games. I can't imagine that though. Maybe at my age, but not again as at kind of school and college age. So yeah, just playing A Way Out, it just made me think I do miss this kind of sitting down, sharing a screen and playing a fun game rather than trying to beat each other or trying to basically.
Yeah, I think that you're right in the fact that most online multiplayer games now, the majority of them are all about competition, and it's all who's the last man standing, or you fight in an arena match where you have to be the winning team. And I think a lot of my childhood, I remember, was playing Mario Kart on split screen, or playing things like Super Smash Bros. On a shared screen, but with obviously 4 controllers and 4 players. And those were all about laughs, even though that was still sort of a competitive nature of the game. It was all about like having your friends around, or I used to play a lot with my brothers and sisters. And it was just about, having a laugh in the same room and teasing each other and getting wound up. And I feel like online, even if you have your headset on, it's not quite the same. And I don't know, I just think as well, like couch co-op, it seems to be a little bit safer. There's obviously this massive fear about going online, especially if you've got children, and then setting them up so they can join matches. You don't always know who you're talking to, whereas if you have their friends over, you can watch them, you can monitor them, you know exactly who they're engaging with. So I feel like couch multiplayer has that certain charm to it, where it's just a bit more, even though obviously it's still interacting in a video game, it's not, going outside and building a tree house or whatever. It's still interacting with your friends in a more, I guess, close nature. You're still with them, whereas I feel like online multiplayer feels very alien. And obviously, I'm not really the right person to say because I've not really dabbled in online multiplayer, as my internet's rubbish. But I look forward to the times when I play, Mario Kart on a split screen, even though it doesn't happen very often now. If my brothers are like, should we play Mario Kart, Super Smash Bros? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. It's great fun. And I feel like online multiplayer is a bit disconnected. You're sort of just sitting there talking in a monotone voice. Just, can you do this? Can you come here? Can you revive me? I miss it.
Online, it because you don't know that, for all you know, it might not be real people.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got no idea. It's just like playing a game, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, whereas you don't get the reactions and the hysterity that you can get if you're in the same room.
I think it's coming. Well, I don't know if I'd say it's coming back, but there's certainly been a Sony, for instance, with its PlayLink.
Yeah, of course.
Quite focused on multiplayer, which is quite good, although they're more, I guess you could call them party games. Would you really call Hidden Agenda a party game? Not really.
It's the same sort of style, isn't it? But it's not the same thing.
But so there's certainly folks in it. There's quite a few. There was even a VR game, and a lot of VR games do it where the one person will wear the headset.
Is that Pass the Bomb?
People. There was one on the screen where you basically you're you're trying to disarm the bomb, and then the people who are looking at the screen can shout at you and tell you what wires to cut and stuff. But there was also a game we were playing, Dinner Dash, where one person's the waiter and one's the cook. So the person.
Have you played Overcooked?
Overcooked is amazing.
Yeah, Overcooked's another one. It's sort of like that.
It's so funny.
And Dinner Dash, the person wearing the headset's a chef, and then the person playing on TV is the waiter. So the person actually cooks everything, and then the person on the TV has to go and deliver it. So yeah, that's quite cool. I'd say it's more the smaller games that kind of focus on the couch multiplayer, isn't it?
I'd agree with that.
But I don't know, there is some though. I mean, if you think of a big game like Rocket League, you can kind of play that way. Also, what was the bigger one I was thinking of? Things like Minecraft and stuff, you can play split screen. I'm not sure about the Call of Duties and stuff, but obviously games like FIFA and stuff, it's stuff that's never going to go away, I don't think. It's always been there about. Maybe the focus sort of goes away from it a little.
I think that's right. I think that's the difference. It's just not as prevalent these days. It used to be, especially in the N64 days, when there was 4 controller ports on the front of a machine for the first time. It was like, oh, this is made for 4 players, and this is a selling point.
Yeah.
Whereas now it tends to be less of a selling point, and I don't know if that's because it's normal to play online or whether it's just because people don't want it, but I don't know.
I think it's probably people don't want it as much because they can play online, probably.
Yeah.
I just think there's something
you couldn't.
Yeah, I think there's something really fun about literally just playing it with people, who you're with. I mean, so for example, like we were talking about how it normally encompasses smaller games, I like all the Resident Evil games, but probably one of my favorites is the Umbrella Chronicles and the Dark Side Chronicles. And you play them as 2 people in the same room. One person is on one side of the screen with the gun, the other person's on the other side of the screen with the gun. And it sort of goes through on a train track. So obviously you don't move, the characters move. You pick which way you want to go. You take it in turns, like fighting people and picking them off. And I have really fun memories of doing that. But every time I've played... So I've only played online with someone once, and it was in Bloodborne when I was trying to get a trophy. And in Bloodborne, you can't even talk to each other. So we were just sort of walking around waving, and I was like, this is weird. It feels weird almost. Instead of being like a fun multiplayer experience, it feels like they're a robot and they're following me around when actually that's a person, if you know what I mean. Because it just felt so disconnected from what multiplayer is to me, and that is couch multiplayer, because that's pretty much all I've ever known.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I don't know. It's
Sorry,
just,
Joe,
like I say, I think it's always been there and it always will be. I don't know, maybe it's just the focus on online multiplayer that makes you think it's gone away or something.
Maybe, yeah.
But I still think it's always been there. I don't really know. I mean, you couldn't really do it in a game like Uncharted or whatever because you'd ruin it, I think. Or other games like, I think Cameo, which I really liked. I think that done it. I'm sure it did. It had some sort of co-op, but there was other games where, if you think of the games probably you're talking about that take away the focus from it, like Call of Duty and Destiny and all the sort of big games, you can see why maybe they don't have it.
Yeah.
Because there's so big, but I'm sure Call of Duty had it, and it's, what was that mode called? Where it's like a kind of horde mode. I don't know.
I think I know what you mean. Was it in the zombie? One of the zombie ones?
You can play it, and
I feel like I've played it
Call of Duty and couch co-op.
I think I might have actually done that.
And the zombie mode, but there was another mode I played. I remember playing it with Jordan, and we had to defend. It's kind of like a horde mode where you had to defend the base. So we're both kind of playing together and on the split screen. So I think it is there. Even in the big games, I think it's just
hidden away.
And there's not really, because most people probably don't think about it as much anymore. That's probably all. But I think it still is there sometimes.
It's funny, isn't it, though, because over the past few years there's been so much emphasis on online multiplayer, whereas up until A Way Out, I don't think I'd really heard much about split screen couch co-op multiplayer.
I
Like,
think
I
the
don't know if
Lego
I missed
games
it.
always have it.
That's true,
something-
yeah, they do, don't they?
Yeah, but again, it's a completely different atmosphere. It's a much more laid back experience, kind of, with the Lego ones.
But I mean,
And
you
it's-
take A Way Out though, and I mean, where is it? I'm looking back at the chart again. I don't even see it in the
Yeah.
top 40.
It came out last week?
Yeah,
Or
2 weeks ago, I
2 weeks
think. Yeah,
ago.
It's not, as far as I can see. I can't. It's not in the top 40. So you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So maybe, oh, here it is. We're talking about it. It's great, but nobody cares about the bits of things.
yeah. Because also with that, you have to play it multiplayer. There's no single
Yeah.
player option.
I think
There has to be 2 of you.
I think that turns a lot of people off. I think people like games that are open to both, if you know what I mean. So 90% of what I play has a multiplayer aspect, but I just don't play it because I'm there for the single player. So I think unless I, was in a friendship group or I had a circle of people who I know I could always play multiplayer with, I don't think those sort of things would appeal to me. So maybe it's just a case of people aren't buying A Way Out because they don't have the option to play it either on their own or with a NCP character. So they're just like, well, the chances are I might not be able to have a consistent playthrough with this because what if someone lets me down, or what if somebody doesn't want to play that day, and it'll just sit unfinished on my shelf. So
Yeah,
maybe that's why.
yeah.
It's interesting,
probably.
isn't it? But I mean, I remember when they revealed the trailer for A Way Out, I was like, oh my god, a split screen game. I was really taken aback by it, which is why I just thought it was an interesting topic that you came up with for this week, Dan, because
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, and my entire childhood, because I did grow up on the generation of the Wii, so my entire childhood was playing Wii Party and Wii Sports and obviously all the Super Smash Bros. Games and the Mario Kart games, so everything was multiplayer. I've got a lot of siblings, so it works out really well for me, but obviously in my teen years, when I started to turn more towards narrative, I guess maybe I grew out of multiplayer, and because I don't have very good internet, I thought, well, that doesn't suit me. I'll stick to my single player. And now I'm sort of becoming more aware about video games. I've noticed A Way Out, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. There does seem to be a lack. Or, like Joe said, they're there, but they aren't as prominent in the genre as the online multiplayer games. So
Yeah. I think 2 good things with A Way Out, I know we're focusing on it quite a lot, was the price point, because it was cheap, but also the fact that only one player needs to own the game.
Yeah, that's useful.
So, I can buy it and play online with someone who doesn't have it, which is a nice way to open it up. But like you say, you still need someone to have that playthrough with. You've still got to kind of, if you don't live with someone, you've still got to arrange that, tomorrow night at 7:00, let's play it. Kind of,
Yeah.
It's not just pick up and play. So that, you're right, it probably does put people off. So, yeah. But more like it would be good, just because it is a good game and it's different, and hopefully the developers make some money out of it and people buy it, but obviously they're not. Hopefully people listening can go and give it a try.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Get it back in the top 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I think that's it then for the topic. Are we all good?
Yeah.
Just something to say, Joe?
Yeah.
What were the last multiplayer games you guys played, just out of interest?
Mario Kart last week.
Yeah.
I just consistently go back to Mario Kart. My boyfriend owns it, and when his brother comes around, we just sit and play Mario Kart all night. But that's literally the only one I can think of in the last 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Sea of Thieves. Me know that I played it with anyone. I played it more. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah.
I just wondered.
It's interesting though, isn't it, that it's not like, oh, I played this, I played this, I played this, I played this, like you would with what have you been playing this week. Like the multiplayer ones are more, oh, I played this this long ago, or I've been playing this but mostly on my own, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Okay, well, that's good. If anyone listening's got any thoughts on it, that would be good to hear as well. Or any games we've missed out mentioning in the multiplayer world that they play. Would you class Burnout Paradise as a multiplayer? It's not really, is it? It's not split screen, but...
Yeah, we
Yeah, but
can't
then
play
again-
online, I guess.
I guess in that way, because I mean, Super Smash. The words, I'm getting my games mixed up. Super Smash Bros. Isn't split screen, is it?
No, true.
So
Yeah, so with Burnout, you just press the right D-pad button and you go online, and there's just people driving around and doing what they want, and you can do what you want.
okay.
So, yeah, cool. Okay, well, yeah, I think that's it. Should we move on to user questions? Got quite a few.
Oh, have we? Yeah, here you go.
For some reason, I thought we were going to talk about what we played after that, but I don't know. I just got it the wrong way around.
I did write up a
I
little.
thought I'd missed a bit. I thought I'd fell asleep. I was like, what?
I did write
I
up
must
the
have
form
missed
for the show on the chat, Joe.
Okay, let's talk about user questions then.
User questions, then what we've been playing.
Cool. Okay, then, so now it's time for user questions. So our first question this week is from the Vectronic, and it's probably geared towards you guys more than myself because I don't get much time to review. But he's asked, when playing through a game for review, what is the thing that you look for when you boot it up for the first time?
For review?
Yeah.
I like to structure my reviews before I even play the game. So I'll do like a chapter on the intro, a chapter on the story, a chapter on the gameplay, one on the graphics. I think for me, and I don't ever look at it in a negative way, but I think the graphics do really catch my eye first, if you know what I mean. So I've never reviewed anything that, you know, you could say has non-realistic graphics and said, oh, it's crap because it has non-realistic graphics. But I definitely do look at the graphics first, and normally that's the first thing I write down, because I think that the environment and the setting can normally set the story and the atmosphere quite well. So that's what I always note down first, what the game looks like.
I think I don't really think about my review when I'm playing the game. I go into it just.
I can't do that.
I just go into play the game, so I just think to myself, right, turn it on, and then it'll load up, and then I'll generally have a first impression of it based on the graphics or the story or whatever.
That's crazy.
Then I think about it more and more as I play. Or is it working properly? If I had any issues, if there's any issues, I generally try and record them. And I don't know. I just think it that way, and then I think about it at the end. And that's when I sort of go back. Then once I've played it, and if I know immediately if I've liked the game by the end of it, because I can just not stop thinking about it, and I get quite excited about, how am I going to start the review?
Yeah.
I write the review as I go, so I play a bit, I'll see something, I'll pause the game, I'll write down a bit, I'll play the game, I'll see something else, I'll write down a bit. I feel like I get really worried that I'll forget what I've played or what I've thought. So if I think of something, I think of a sentence, I'm like, oh, I've got to put that down. So I'll stop the game.
I don't even take any notes.
Do you not? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I have a list of notes on my phone for every game I've reviewed.
But when I've finished, I only take notes if it's quite a complicated game, or if it's quite a full-on sort of, what the heck does this mean sort of thing, just things where you need to write it down. But generally I'll be able to do it just from memory. But I just love when I really like a game, and then I'm just sort of sitting there thinking of the ways I'm going to start it, because once I've got the first paragraph down, I usually can write the rest of the review really quickly. It's always the first paragraph I start with opening it up.
The introduction I find so hard.
Yeah. After I've done that, it just kind of flows all the time. But
you're very lucky, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know. Am I the only person who has to take notes constantly? Do you just play the whole game, Dan?
I don't remember the last time I reviewed something. Probably. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really a writer, so I won't really plan. I think I'd just play it and then just write some paragraphs.
Yeah.
So, yeah. For me, I think I love a good start screen. So games like The Last of Us, where the menu screen is kind of just a subtle image that with bits of movement, and there's no developer logos or big explosions with the title and stuff. It's just a really well thought out title screen. I think that kind of, to me, I kind of think, okay, yeah, this has been built or thought about and designed as a game, rather than just. Not that I hate games that then you load up, the logo kind of explodes in, and then there's loads of noise. That's all fine; it has its place. But just a nice title screen, I think, can say a lot about a game and the talent of the team making it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I can't think of any others other than The Last of Us off the top of my head. I know the Uncharted 4 one has this pirate skeleton in a cage, and again,
it does. Yeah.
the menu is just like 5 lines of plain font. There's no Uncharted logo. It's almost like we know what we are, and this is where you're going. You're going to go on an adventure with some pirates. They don't need to say anymore.
I like the Uncharted logos, actually, thinking about, the window in The Last of Us.
Yeah.
I think they're very tasteful because they're so minimalistic.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like kind of that kind of design. So, yeah. But like I say...
Sorry, I don't know. I was just thinking back to the question.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't really review enough. So,
But no, I was just thinking, I don't think I really get excited about... I don't think I really think of, what's the review, what am I looking out for sort of thing. I don't think I ever think that. I just kind of think, is it working? And do I like it? That's the two main that's the two main topics in my head. Is it working? Do I like it? Yeah. And then from there I can think, are the graphics good? Is the story good? And all that. But at the end of the game, if you just go, did it work okay? Did I like it? Then you know your answer. You can kind of get a rough idea of where you're going for that.
Yeah. Cool. We'll move on because I've got a few questions. So Barry Barfly has asked, what is your unpopular gaming opinion in the last 6 months or so?
I have mine right away. I'm not looking forward or excited forward, probably the better thing to say, for Spider-Man. I'm just not interested at all. And I feel like I'm the only person like that who's just, that I'm not getting it. I'm not really interested in it. I don't know why I'm not interested in it. I'm not first.
I feel exactly the same way.
That's good, thank you.
No, about God of War.
No, back me up with Spider-Man. Everybody is saying to me, like, you're crazy. You need to, get involved. It's going to be great. And I'm like, it looks good. From a technical and a graphical point of view, I can look at it and say that's a really good looking game. But I just have zero interest in it whatsoever. And if this makes you feel better, I have zero interest in God of War as well.
Yeah, I think
I don't know why.
I don't really like Spider-Man as a character, so I think that's why I'm not massively excited for the game. But also with the God of War games, I don't feel like there's any kind of emotional link to the characters or the setting or anything. So just for me, I don't know what it is. But my unpopular opinion, I've been saying it for probably a year, is that I don't think Horizon deserved all of the accolades that got. So, yeah. But yeah,
I disagree with you about everything.
I knew it. I told you.
I like Horizon. I thought it was a good game.
It is a good game. I just don't think it was Game of the Year. I don't think it was the best game last year. I don't think it's got the best story of a game last year. It looks beautiful, but it's certainly not as big a deal as some other games. In my opinion.
I do think it is a great game, but God of War, I know how good that series is. I mean, it's probably for me up there with Darksiders. No much love Darksiders, but that said, up there for me. But it's a similar type of gameplay to Darksiders in that it's quite a fast-paced, full-on action fighter game.
Anyway, what's your unpopular opinion? We don't need to plug the games that we don't care about. We want to answer the question.
I'm just saying, get God of War and Spider-Man. I think for me it's Sea of Thieves, because I said all along that it looked like an empty shell of a game, and I don't really see how it was going to hook anybody in for more than a few weeks, and everybody was pure slating me, as they always do, calling you a fanboy or whatever, and now they know I'm right. So
what about unpopular PlayStation opinions? Fed up talking about Xbox. Come on. Tell us something unpopular.
That was just the first one that came in my head that I knew was against the trend. PlayStation. I was finding it a bit tougher with PlayStation because I really like Sony's exclusives. There's never any that I don't like, I don't think. I didn't
What
really.
about the fact that the hardware revisions are ugly compared to the original? Is that an unpopular opinion? What do you guys think? I think the original one's much prettier than the newer
I
one.
do. I agree with you there as well.
Which one are we? What we're talking about?
The original launch PS4 is a lot prettier.
That's the one I'm
than
looking at now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer looking than the new models.
Yeah, I guess it is, but the new models are smaller and more compact, so I like that as well. I like the round curves as well on the new ones, whereas I'm not as much keen on this sort of sharper curves and not even curves, the sharper look of the PS4, the original. I do like both though. That's why I like to be able to have the old one.
I'm trying to make
and
you
the
say
new
something that's unpopular. You just keep saying nice things, Joe. It's not
I'm
right.
trying to think. I can't. My brain just can't think what I think negative to say about PlayStation. What other games is coming out that maybe aren't Sony exclusives that I probably
know.
think?
I don't think I've got anything pre-ordered, so I don't know.
I can't even.
Don't know.
I can't.
No,
We'll move on.
think.
It might
I
come
would
to you as we
even
carry
say
on.
about Far Cry, but I quite like that. So
Oh my god.
Right,
I'm just
we'll move on.
Mr. Positive today.
Joe likes everything.
So I think this is a new tweeter. I don't remember reading out the Twitter handle before. So it's a question from their sort PSN. And he's asked, what game introduced you to a new genre? So have you played a game before in a genre that you've not played before, and then you've been like, oh wow, I love this type of game, or not? I think it's hard because
It is hard, yeah.
I've been gaming for so many years that it's hard to remember back that far, I suppose.
I guess as well, it's like, what do you define as a strict genre, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. I think for me it's a long way back, but I think for me it'd be probably something like Modern Warfare 2, which kind of introduced me to sort of shooters and online first-person multiplayer shooters, which is something I wouldn't have probably have played before. But that kind of hooked me in for a little while because I really liked that game and it was excellent. That would be the genre that sort of introduced me to that. I guess I don't think I was really into that sort of thing before. I can't really think anything else other than that, though, because I'm the type of person who plays all genres, really. So it's a bit hard.
I think... Go on, Becky.
No. We're both so British. We're like, no, you go.
Yeah.
I think for me, I don't know if you could class it as a genre, but I guess the sort of, I guess what you'd call a subsection of gaming of indie games. So I was always really against them. I just thought they were really short and I didn't understand how they were quite abstract, and they're obviously down to the audience's interpretation. And then I played Inside, which everybody knows I loved. And I think from playing Inside, I was like, there's some real gems out there in this genre or this subsection of gaming that I want to get to know. So it sort of just made me go out and buy pretty much every like indie game I saw advertised from that point on, you know. So I got Limbo, I got Little Nightmares, I went and played Journey and Abzu, and I think everything I played from an indie developer I've really enjoyed. So I don't know if that's like a genre, but I was definitely very much, I just wanted to play games like The Last of Us or Uncharted before that. I was just about the big selling games, like the big developer names. Yeah. So I think it was nice to have my eyes opened and be like, there's actually some real nice little games out here that obviously a lot of people don't notice, and I think it's nice to be able to play them and sort of share them a little bit, you know, on social media. So I'd say Inside for me, probably.
Cool. I was going to go a bit more modern, try to anyway, and if you class like walking simulators as a genre,
I'd say
Firewatch kind of, I think was probably the first one I played where you play it expecting, I was expecting like a monster to jump out on me, or for me to pick up, you know, get a stick and be able to whack someone with a stick. And it was quite an alien experience to just walk around a world rather than, you know, having a proper objective of killing things or whatever. So I'd say that. And then from there, I've played things like Everybody's Gone to the Rapture and Virginia, and, you know, other walking simulator games, kind of knowing where I stand with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be a kind of a modern one. I was going to say Parappa for rhythm action games, but it's so long ago that I'm sure I played, all types of games. But yeah, I'd say Firewatch, and I love Firewatch as well. So it's
I've
a good
not
one to
played
bring
it
up.
yet. I noticed
Have you
it's come
not?
to the Switch
Really
though.
good.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I play it on the PlayStation, on the PS4 Pro, because it just looked 10 times.
Yeah.
It just looked better.
Yeah, I can
So,
imagine. Yeah, maybe
yeah.
it'd be a good. Maybe that sort of game would be good on the VR, a sort of walking simulator.
It would be amazing in VR. I did say that at the time when I was playing it, because the world is so stylized. It's kind of just block colors. It's really pretty. So yeah, maybe they will do it in VR. But the thing is it's what, 3 years old now. It's kind of
Yeah.
like, I wish they'd. Well, they are working on something new actually. So, but yeah, like rather than just re-releasing it over and over, give me something new. So yeah, that's that question. Sorry, I've lost my window. So my good friend Ian, or at Shape Thrower on Twitter, asked, given the price drop Sony gave the VR starter kit, do you think that VR is here to stay, or do you think it might be heading towards the way of 3D?
Don't know. I feel like they're probably just trying to make it a bit more accessible for a wider audience. I don't know if that means, one, it's here to stay, or two, the 3D's coming. I don't know. When I saw the price drop, I just thought, oh, they're obviously trying to engage with a few more people who have obviously not been able to engage with the platform because of the price being the price it was. So that was just my initial thoughts. I still have the same opinion on VR, that I won't be able to own one until the device makes me not feel nauseous anymore. So
It just depends the game you play. Where
is that
you
the
feel
only
nauseous.
reason though?
Yeah, honestly, it makes me feel.
nauseous though, but it depends on the game. Like, for instance, there's loads and loads of games that don't make me feel sick. It's the ones that make you. It's the ones where you're sort of moving at a rapid speed that kind of get you. But if you just play ones where you stand still, or where they do the quick teleportation, which they do in quite a lot of games to get from one area to the next, it doesn't make you feel sick. And I think more developers will figure it out as it sort of they get used to technology. I mean, Alchemy Labs, for instance, and Make Job Simulator and Rick and Morty, they've got it nailed. They know exactly how to do it without you feeling sick. I never feel sick in their games, and Batman done it well as well. There's loads that actually do it really well, but it's just that the fast-paced ones I can't be doing with. I can't play them.
I think as well for me, I'm still at the point where I've not seen anything on VR that sort of catches my eye. I mean, I know I've obviously heard like mixed things about it, but Sea of Thieves was like one of the only games that made me think it would be nice to have access to an Xbox. So I've not seen anything yet on VR that I couldn't have played on, my PlayStation. So Resident Evil 7, obviously I played, but I played that on my PlayStation.
I don't think Sony would do that though.
I can't see them doing it.
It's too small a market.
I don't think it's heading the way of 3D. I think the reason they've put the price down is just because the technology's got cheaper and they're able to. Because obviously, if they can make it cheaper and still make a profit, then they're going to sell more and therefore get a bigger user base. I mean, the user base isn't too bad anyway. And there's rumours that VR's baked into the PS5 as well. So if that is the case, it's not going anywhere. I mean, also things like Oculus and Vive, they're always coming out with new revisions and stuff as well. They haven't sold as well as PSVR has, but I've just got a feeling it's not going anywhere, although it does kind of feel like Vita, and that
there's no games, is there?
There's plenty of games. It's just they're all indie games. So but these indies, I mean, bloody hell, some of them just feel so high quality. It's unbelievable. It's like they feel really like they've put a lot of effort, and it kind of, some of them, even though they're probably not high budget, they kind of feel what they are. So I'd just love a new VR from Sony that got rid of the fuzz, because there's a little bit of fuzz. It's just not completely clear.
Yeah.
It's got looking at 4K clear. Just imagine having a 4K screen on your face. That would be amazing. That would be like, wow. That would really get you immersed in it. But I mean, I'm impressed with it anyway. I think it's really good. I don't want it to go anywhere. I want it to get better and bigger and better games, and I want the technology to improve. And I think it's kind of here to stay this time.
What price point do you think it needs to hit for it to become like owned by or be more mainstream for a PlayStation user to have one? Or do you think they even want that? Do they want every PlayStation owner to have a VR? Obviously, from a business point of view, they do.
Yeah.
But because
what's
obviously
the price of it right now?
Isn't it $250
roughly? $259.
Yeah.
I think when I bought my PlayStation, it was about that price, $259. But I think, like I said earlier, I think there was a lot of games in there I'd want to play. I do think it's down. A lot of the purchases that people make in the gaming industry is all based on taste, and it's based on what do I want or what do I feel like I need. So for me, it would be games that I'm interested in. For other people, it might be this price drop might have lured them in. Other people, it might be, more developers like the ones you were talking about, Joe, who combated the motion sickness thing really well. I think it's everybody's different, isn't it?
The thing is, I mean, even for that $259, you get the headset, you get a game, and you get the camera.
The camera too.
Yeah, so I mean, it's quite a good price. And then in America, I think that starter bundle's $199. So I mean,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, Magic.
It's been $199 there for a while, and it seems to be doing well in the charts and stuff. The VR, it always seems to sell well whenever there's a sale as well. I don't know how many's sold, but there's certainly millions been sold. I can always see it getting better, really, as more games come out, and there's absolutely tons of games to come. And I've played some crackers recently. I've reviewed quite a few recently, but I've played some really good ones. So I mean, now I can.
Yeah.
It's got. Oh, we'll talk about that when we talk about what we've played.
We've got one more question. Let's do this question, and then we'll move on to what we've played. So, Sean1Neo, No Fate on Twitter, has asked, "Hi all, a thought for this week's podcast. I've been thinking about Media Molecule's Dreams. I think this may be one of those games where some talented individuals could find their way into the gaming industry if they're the first to create something special. Thoughts?" So I suppose he's saying, can people use this to showcase their developer skills to then try and push into the industry?
Worked with Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
People got jobs from that. So, I mean, it stands to reason they would from Dreams as well, I would say.
Yeah.
So, simple answer.
Agree.
Yeah, me too. I think, if there's an opportunity there, then someone will take it, won't they? And they'll use the game to their advantage by showcasing what they can do.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's part of the beauty of the game. That it's kind of open source. Okay, cool. Thanks, Sean. Sorry, quick answer, but we kind of agree. So, should we move on to what we've been playing?
Yeah.
Go on then, Joe.
Okay, right. What have I been playing? Let me think. Right, I never got to talk about Far Cry 5 because I missed last week.
Did you play some Far Cry 5? I didn't know you had Far Cry 5.
Oh yeah, I've got it. Yeah, I rented it.
Nice.
And I rented it just because I thought it was a big game, and I thought, well, I usually quite like them, then get bored of them, but it's excellent.
It's so good, isn't it? It's really good.
It's an excellent game. I love all the sort of different levels of interaction in it. I love the dog and the way you can have somebody come with you. And I love the different missions so far that I've played. I just quite like everything about it so far. I've probably played about 5 to 6 hours of it maybe so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like it. It's good. So I played that, and what else have I played? Did I not review some stuff? Did I talk about Island Time VR? I talked about that. I did review it. But that's the one with Greg Miller in it now, kind of funny guy, IGN, whatever. I can't say anything about him. I mean, he does what he has to do fine. He talks, he does his voice speech or whatever. It's very limited, but I mean, his performance is fine. The game, I like the concept. You're basically stuck in an island, and you need to survive as long as you can before you die. But it's just not very well made, really, and that it seems a bit random when you die. Sometimes you eat a fish and then you'll not get. Then you get this chime, which is one you're going to die. So you get the cane, you get the flint, you sort of rub them together and it makes a spear, and then you can sort of speed in the water and catch a fish. And then you'd rub the flints together on a bit of wood and create a fire, and then you cook your fish, and then you eat it, and then you're fine. You can hit coconuts off the tree, split them open on the floor, and drink the water and stuff. Sometimes you get seagulls attack you that you'll need to bosh away, and if you time it right, you'll bosh them into the fire and make a roast seagull. You can make that.
Tasty.
A roast
So that's all fun. I mean, that all makes it sound real fun, but that's it. Kind of. I mean, that's sometimes a crate will come along, give you more wood and more fun, but that's it. So you'll do that, and you'll just keep doing that circle of stuff to try and survive, eating, creating fire, fishing, getting coconuts, and then you maybe survive 9 minutes, but then you'll go into a game, try and beat your time again. But the problem is, like I said, you eat the fish and then it'll chime a while later to warn you you're going to die. But sometimes you eat a fish and then it'll chime straight away, and it's like, well, I've just eaten, so why am I going to die? So I mean, and it's just a bit repetitive because it's about 16 quid or something. I don't know if that was a pricing error, but it just feels like a demo almost. So I like the concept, but I just think it had to be more filled out to make it, and a bit more interactive as well. Maybe you could throw a coconut at the crab, which is the voice of Greg Miller's is the crab. It'd be nice if you could have smacked him in the face or something. Or drew a line, even drew your name in the sand or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a bit more interaction. So, and it's not really that funny though. It's meant to be, but I didn't really find it very funny. And then I played Rick and Morty, which is the one I just reviewed today. Just the review's live on the website now, and that's by the same people who make Job Simulator. But it's obviously based on the cartoon series. Now, I don't know anything about the cartoon series, so I was a bit hamstrung there, I guess. But it's just an excellent game. Either. It's really good. It's got the same production values of Job Simulator, so everything's really colourful, and it honestly feels, I know it's Rick and Morty, but it honestly feels like you're in the episode of The Simpsons or whatever, or the episode of Rick and Morty, I should say. Because, I mean, you look up at the sky, and now in The Simpsons, you've got this really blue sky and the white clouds. And you just look up and they're there. It's just like, wow. It's got one of those episodes where they get pulled in the TV, and then all of a sudden you're in the show. That's kind of what it's like. It's just crazy. And you've got the main characters standing there talking to you. And it's like, wow, I'm in a cartoon. And you get to sort of, because it's a crazy type of game, there's all sorts of things you can mess about with, like an arcade cabinet. But you go over to his lab, and there's this sort of little lab table, and you can combine any two items. So you put them both on it, push your button, and it will make new things. And you can use these new things you make to solve puzzles and stuff like that. And then there's a portal that you can open, and you can go into bathrooms and mess about in toilet, or you can go into this other world where you have to sort of arcade sort of shooter against aliens, and you're shooting at all these aliens trying to beat your high score. And then there's this weird mini game where it's like a battery charger, and you have to sort of use your hands to do the sequences. So like you'll be up and down with levers, turning knobs and all that, and you're trying to, and it gets faster and faster, and you're like trying to get all these sequences in order to charge the battery. It's mad. That's really good. Really like it. There's about 9 levels, and then once you're done with them, you can just free play, and there's sort of loads of hidden Easter eggs to play. So there's sort of reasons to go back just to mess about and throw things around. So yeah, it's good. It's really good. Like it.
Sounds good.
Kind of makes me want Vacation Simulator more, which is the sequel to Job Simulator, so I can't wait till that comes out. But yeah, excellent. So I've quite enjoyed playing them, but other than that, that's about it, I think.
Nice in-depth roundup of what you played. I've played one game, I played two. So I played some more Burnout Paradise. So I was working on doing the online trophies with my brother, just to get that horrible one out of the way where you've got to have 8 drivers in the stadium at once, because kind of getting that naturally is impossible. So doing it early on, whilst the game's still new for a lot of people, getting that out of the way was good. I've done probably another 5 or 6 races. But like I said last week, it's Burnout. You know what you're getting with it. It's just a very good driving game with good soundtrack. Looks okay. So yeah, that. And then I've been playing Hitman Go on the Vita, just because we've been away over the weekend. So I took my Vita, and it's okay. It's not as good as Lara Croft Go. Wish I'd probably have bought a different game. But the choice on Vita is becoming less and less now, obviously, as it's getting older and less is coming out. So yeah, that's all I've been playing though, really, to be honest. A little bit more Way Out, but that was, like half an hour, so I won't really class that as playing it. Hopefully we'll finish that this week though, and I can tell everyone more about how I thought it was once it's done. So yeah, that's it though, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not done hardly anything either. I finished Far Cry 5 today. That was good fun. It's probably, in my opinion, up there with Far Cry 3 in terms of the best of the franchise. I think it's done really well. Everything about it feels really, the tension is really well held throughout it. And the ending is really clever. Obviously, Far Cry makes you choose between 2 endings, and both choices, I've played both of them. Both of them are very good, and both give you different things as a conclusion. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think my one problem with it, though, was the idea is you've got to liberate 3 regions to basically face the father in the end. He's the last one, but to get to him, you have to defeat 3 of his... it's his adoptive sister and his 2 brothers. So you go through their region, you build up resistance points by liberating outposts or saving civilians who've been captured by the cult. And I found that after I'd done the first few story missions set in each region, there wasn't really much to do, and I was sort of running around like hoping and praying that I'd stumble across a story quest, because I felt as though the story quest it wasn't continuous. It sort of was split up around the world, and it was your job to go and find it instead of the narrative pointing you towards it. When you finish one story section, most games it goes, okay, now you do this. That was like, okay, finish that one. And it's just like, okay, what do I do? So I spent a lot of my time just running around, like stumbling over side quests and like trying to just blow things up, hoping it would give me points. But in a way, it's quite clever because it does force you to explore the world. And now that you don't have to liberate the outpost, you have to find everything naturally yourself. So in a way, I'm kind of like mixed feelings about it, because I liked that it made me explore, but at the same time, it was a little bit of a frustrating last few hours when I had only about 100 resistant points left to collect, and I just wanted to find one mission that I knew would clear all that in one go. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it, and I'm probably going to go back to it and just try and pick up a few more trophies. That's like how much I enjoyed it. I want to play it more, even though I finished it.
Yeah, that's a good sign of a good game, that you finish it and you still want to go back.
Yeah, even though, I finished it this morning, and then I had to go and do something. And when I came back, I was like, should I play Far Cry? And in my head, I was like, wait, I finished it. And I was like, yeah, but I could do more stuff. That's what I love about it. The beauty of it is there's a lot of side quests that are obviously very prominent, but then there's a lot that are hidden, and you, like I was saying earlier, you have to go and seek them out. So there's still probably about 40 to 30% of the game that I haven't even touched upon yet. So I'm really excited to go back and get into that. But I haven't played anything else this week. I've not played a lot of stuff.
Would you consider going back to try and obtain the Platinum Trophy? How kind of obtainable is it?
Well, I would struggle because, as you know, I don't have the internet. Obviously, there's arcade trophies, which I wouldn't be able to get. But I feel like the rest of them, I was just having a look before, after I finished the game, I was just having a look at the trophies. And most of them are just silly things, like run over 5 people with a tractor. And I was like, I can do that. most of them
You
are.
can do that in your village.
Oh yeah, of course I can. I've got practice already. So most of them are completely attainable. And I think if you have the internet and, like we were saying about the multiplayer aspect, if you have a group of friends who you can play multiplayer with, then I think it'll be really easy platinum to get. I'm definitely going to go back and get the trophies I can get. I'm starting to think I really need to invest in better internet / a PSN membership, because I feel like I'm missing out a little bit with games like this. Obviously, there's an arcade mode that I haven't even been able to touch, and it looks so fun, and I can't do anything about it.
Yeah,
So
I'm still quite surprised you don't have PlayStation.
I know it's bad,
Plus.
isn't it? It's really bad.
Hey ho, one day. Hey.
One day I will.
Okay.
Cool.
Right, before we move on, there was something that just caught my eye there, which I thought was quite interesting. It's like Cliff Bleszinski's new studio, Boss Key, is launching a game tomorrow on Steam Early Access, and they're calling it Radical Heights.
Okay.
The theme is a 1980s Californian game show, and you earn prize money, which you can pull from cash machines to spend in gear and you ride around your bike. But it's actually been described as an extreme early access game, and it says the core gameplay experience is complete. However, players should expect to experience placeholder assets in the world, including models, audio, animation, and even entire buildings.
Why are they releasing it?
That's
Do you not
crazy.
think it's getting a bit ridiculous, all this early I mean, we were talking earlier how I said to you, I came back the next day and all of a sudden the whole game was full of trees. It kind of feels like this one sounds like you're just going to be riding around a sort of empty screen.
Yeah, it's a bit too much, I think.
And it's like I said there, it's a sort of battle royale style game, so obviously they're just jumping on the bandwagon.
I was going to say, like, there's not enough of them. Why not polish it and finish it and release something good?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah.
They're obviously
Into a
just
crowded
trying
market.
to jump on the bandwagon while they can, sort of thing, and try and get some money. But it just sounds a bit bizarre.
Seems a bit too much, yeah.
It sounds like an odd theme as well. I mean, everybody's playing these shooters and stuff like Pugba and Fortnite, and they're releasing like one based on a Californian game show where you ride around bikes. I don't think that's going to pull anybody away, do you?
Mm.
That's different, at least, I suppose. But yeah, maybe not.
That kind of appealed to me, actually, to be fair. It made me immediately think of California games. Do you ever remember that?
Do you remember that? Yeah,
with the surfboards and stuff. That was awesome. I was rubbish at it.
Yeah.
You had to do all these tricks and try and get a good score, but I could never figure out how to do it. It's always ended up flat in my face.
Mm-hmm.
But nah, that's a cracking game. That was. Bring that back. Anyway, so we've talked about what we've been playing, so now we've got to move on to what's coming out soon. Is that right? Am I getting ahead of myself?
I think I was going to mention SquareXO quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, we're not SquareXO because that's what you're listening to. Well, we've been going on ages. But just to remind everyone to enter SQXO April, so hashtag your PS4 share screenshots with the hashtag SQXO April. This month's prize is the set of coasters from Numskull. And we should probably say congratulations to our winner of SquareXO March as well, who won the Nathan Drake scarf and socks. So well done. I'm going to pronounce his name wrong, but I think it's something like DJ Radhit, which kind of makes sense phonetically, but it's hard to read it when it's spelled the way it is. So
DJ Radhit's in the house.
It's a bit like the Burnout Paradise DJ. I can't remember what his name is, but it's not Raditz. But anyway, so congratulations on winning, and good luck to everyone who enters this month's competition. So yeah, that's it. Talk about what comes out this week, Jay.
I did post some screens up myself from MLB The Show, I think it was. That's what else I was playing. I just need to mention that quickly because it's so good. It's really good. It's one of these sports games that but FIFA's sort of known as the sort of de facto, or that's the best sports game, the best looking, the most well presented, but MLB wipes the floor with it, to be honest. It looks better. I just love it. I mean, I just think it like rounders, hit the ball, run around the circle, score a point. That's it. I don't really understand the rules, but do that, and it's just excellent. It's an excellent game. I really like it, so I just thought I'd mention that quickly. If you sort of have a thing for baseball, it's quite good. Anyway, out this week. Right, Extinction. I don't know much about that. That's come to PS4 and Xbox One.
Just
That's
appeared out of
actually out
nowhere.
tomorrow, I think. It's tomorrow
Yeah.
the 10th. Yeah, so that's out tomorrow. There's also Darkest Dungeon for Switch and Galgun 2 for PS4 and Switch. They're all out basically this week. Next week's a bit more full on. Get Yakuza 6. Get Don't Starve Mega Pack. Get God of War, which is obviously the biggest release of the week. And Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap.
God of what?
Oh, not God of what? God of War.
Don't say
That's-
next week.
That's our title.
So
God
yeah,
of what?
we're getting on a bit here. Jeez, we've been rabbiting on for nearly an hour and a half. Jeez.
Yeah.
Come on, that's disgraceful. We need to start. We're gonna need to start getting the whip out and getting this to move along a bit faster. That's because I'm half asleep and I wasn't able to go right. Let's get on with it. So yeah, that's what's out next week. So yeah, there we go. I think we better wrap it up because we've been rabbiting on for ages. So
Yeah.
if you listen to this at the gym, you'll need to listen another day as well because you probably went over your time. So you'll be listening for the second day.
Or if you're still running, well done, because that's a blooming long run you've been doing.
Yeah, it is. And no, I couldn't even board. Got to gym this morning. I got all dressed to go to gym and I couldn't board. So I've got a cross trainer at home though. So I just kind of used that instead. So I never really skipped it. I just couldn't board.
Why is he cross?
I don't know.
Why ain't he happy
I
trainer?
asked it. Just cross. His name's Reebok.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I've used him. Your jokes is getting as bad as mine.
I know. I don't know what's going on.
I
don't know.
Think,
I need a new jokes book.
yeah, no. You just get to that age and then they just get terrible.
Yeah. Sadly,
Although
yeah, I think that's what's happening.
saying that, Josh won this, the Rangers play. He made a terrible joke earlier and he's about 20 odd. So he goes, oh, I've got 2 tickets for the Derby match at the weekend if anybody wants them. Obviously, Rangers play Celtic this weekend, so he was kind of hinting that he had 2 tickets for that one.
Right.
Somebody goes, oh, I'll have them. And he goes, oh, there you go, mate. He goes, they're playing Burton away. So he's obviously talking about the other Derby.
Right.
That's terrible. Not funny. See, so he's in his 20s. He tells terrible jokes. So there you go. It's not just me. Right, okay then. That's enough rabbiting on about all the rubbish. Don't forget to follow us in all the places I said at the start of the podcast. And we'll see you next time. Thanks now. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.